City name in their lineup, with Mickey Mellon now skippering the Birkenhead side. City fielded new loan signing Craig Fagan in their starting lineup alongside Lee Peacock up front. They were without suspended skipper Dommy Docherty, but Danny Wilson was able to recall the experienced Brian Tinyard to midfield, and Lewis Carey was also back in the side. Commentary from Phil Duffel.
Peacock fouling Jackson. The referee did spot that one. This is Connolly as Tranmere waste no time at all with the free kick. Mellon. Now Howarth. Decent cross by Hume. They've got a man over Tranmere. Best chance of the game so far. Didn't produce a shot on goal, but certainly a moment of alarm for Bristol City. Mellon being forced sideways. Home fans didn't like that. They'll be even less pleased with their team giving the ball away once more. This is Burnell, and here goes Bell for Bristol City. Mickey Bell inside the far post. 1-0 to the visitors. Only his second goal of the season, but beautifully taken by Bell. He simply passed it into the far corner. And the ploy of playing wing-backs appears to be paying dividends already. Tranmere's defence all at sea as Bell found himself in acres of space. A cool head, a fine finish, and Bristol City lead. Peacock, nice layoff. Murray trying to get there. He's been forced the long way around, and the keeper just did enough. Just for a moment there, it looked like Scott Murray might be in as Ian Sharps was trying to shield the ball for Achterberg to come and claim it. And it'll be Tinian with the kick. Peacock up. Mellon gets it half clear. Tinian on the volley. Struck with plenty of power. Couldn't quite get his knee over the ball to keep it down, but worth a try from there. Tinian has scored some screamers in his time, of course. Now Mellon and Roberts over this kick. It's the captain who delivers it. Hume at the second attempt gets it into the middle, deflection off the line by Peacock. I think it was Jones who you felt had to score. Certainly he felt he had to score. And I have a feeling it was Lee Peacock, normally a goal scorer himself, who was a goal saver on that occasion for Bristol City. And here they come now on the counter. What about this for turning defence into attack? Bell on the follow-up puts it wide. Well, it could have been 1-1, it could have been 2-0, instead of which it stays 1-0 to Bristol City. Craig Fagan with the initial break. The shot turned aside by Achterberg, and Bell on his weaker right foot this time, looking for that far corner again. Just got it fractionally wrong. Howarth not having too much joy against the Bristol City defence so far this afternoon. To be fair to him, not getting a great deal of service from his colleagues either. This is Murray for Bristol City. Bell! What a fine try that was. Well, he's got a new lease of life with this freer role. No longer an orthodox left back, and it looks like he's in the mood for goals this afternoon, Mickey Bell. Hill for Bristol City, just easing forward. That's a decent run by the central defender. He was taken down in a rather clumsy challenge by Sean Connolly, who appears to have done a bit of damage to himself as well as to his opponent. Just about within striking range. Bristol City take it quickly though. This is Murray back to Coles, across the face of goal, and well, any kind of touch would have done. Sure, it was meant as a cross rather than a shot by Danny Coles, but it wasn't too far away from that far post. Jones with a flick on, looking for Howarth. Trying to tee himself up the striker, but it's Murray who will clear for Bristol City. Coles, you can see with that stiffish breeze at his back now. Oh, given away by Butler to Howard! Costly mistake, 1-1. Tranmere's top scorer with his 15th of the season. Just what the home fans wanted. And you have to say it came from an elementary mistake at the back by Bristol City. Butler's header clear, a poor one, seized upon by Howard, who needed no second invitation. Fortune jumping with Jackson. The ball drops kindly for Tinian into Fortune now, lets it run across his body to Murray! Well, the goals have just dried up of late for Scott Murray. 17 in the season, but this is the worst barren spell he's had. Price the substitute with his first chance to really run at the Bristol City defence. In for Hume! Fine save, Steve Phillips. Lovely move by Tranmere Rovers. Route 1 football, you could say. And in the end denied only by the agility of the Bristol City goalkeeper. Jones looking to release Price.
Travelling Bristol fans, just to remind you that your coaches will be outside the...
Nicholson's cross. Hume coming in far side. Phillips had to make the save and did so bravely twice. Wonderful goalkeeping, perhaps at some personal cost. But where the rest of his defence has been hesitant in this second period, Steve Phillips has kept Bristol City in the game. Losing out to Howarth, and in the middle, oh, a chance to win it for Gary Jones. Phillips with another terrific stop, although in fact the flag had been raised for offside, and luckily you feel for Gary Jones it wouldn't have counted anyway, because it really was a horrible miss from point blank range. In many ways, I suppose that was the proverbial game of two halves this afternoon.
Absolutely. You know, I think by half time, you know, that we could have added to the tally of the one goal that we had. I thought we played quite well. We looked pretty incisive early on. You know, we passed it very well. Got down the sides of them, particularly on the left-hand side early part of the game, in which Mickey scored as well. And really could have added to the scoreline, but we didn't. You know, and then second half, you know, you've got to give them credit. You know, they came out and, as we expected them to do, put us on our back foot, and then it came into the defensive attributes that we've got. You know, we defended it very well, albeit, you know, they have equalised. But I think it was a very, very hard game in which to play, and I think the lads came through it very well at times.
You shuffle things around a little bit today. I mean, you played with the three centre backs, pushed Mickey Bell into midfield, and obviously you had Craig starting for the first time up front. Were you pleased with the way things went?
I said first half, I thought we were no trouble at all. We handled it very well, and what we did, you know, we got a little bit of extra impetus going forward on the left hand side with Mickey being a little bit wider, and Brian tucked inside in a 4. You know, but I think as the game went on, you know, as it started to count down the minutes, you know, it was important. Then we went even more solid. We went back to Mickey to the left back and took Matthew in a little bit more. Brought Lewis into midfield, and thankfully we got a result out of it.
But 2 more points lost for City, who still haven't won this year. The stats show Tranmere was certainly worth their point as both sides managed 7 shots in the game, with the home side hitting the target more than their visitors.
That sort of form, still without a win in the league this year. They went behind to a goal from Luke Beckett after 22 minutes. They equalised through Christian Roberts 5 minutes into the second half, but they couldn't force a much-needed winner. 2 points from 4 games, the promotion surge is flagging.
Found its scoring touch. Skipper Tommy Docherty hit the opener, his first of the season after 21 minutes. But Cambridge, who beat City at this stage of last year's competition, were back on terms before the break through striker Dave Kitson. Another shock win for the 3rd Division club was looming when the same player reacted quickest to bundle in his and Cambridge's second. But City's response was emphatic with 3 goals in 13 minutes. Joe Burnell began the fight back, claiming his first goal for 3 years.
Yeah, it was nice to score. We had a lot of shots on goals, like I said today, but it's just a case of seeing them hit the net, really, and then going ahead and getting the crowd behind us and going from there.
The home team were on course for their first home win since mid-December, once Scott Murray netted his 19th of the season. And City secured a 2-goal cushion for next week's return game at Cambridge, thanks to a debut goal from one-time Man United frontman Mark Robins.
As far as I'm aware, I'm here for a month, but you never know, do you? I mean, if things go well here and Rotherham are doing well up there, the manager might let me stay out.
Of course, if they get to the final, you'll need to stay for a bit longer to play at Cardiff.
I'll be banging the manager's door down, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's early days. It's a good start for me, and a good result for the lads.
Bristol City went to Northampton looking for a change in fortune. This was City's 9th attempt to win a league game in 2003, but their first with Mark Robins in the starting lineup. The loan signing from Rotherham United took just 12 minutes to make his mark, firing home after Scott Murray's header had been saved. Robins is already proving an astute signing, following up his scoring debut as a sub in the LDV Vans tie against Cambridge in midweek. City dominated the first half and carved out several chances. Murray was hunting his 20th goal of the campaign, and the winger could hardly have come closer at the end of this mazy run. When City did finally go 2-up, it was with a touch of good fortune. Brian Tinian's free kick was meant as a cross, but it deceived everyone, including Northampton goalkeeper Nathan Abbey. Tinian's 8th goal of the season, and at this stage City seemed to be coasting. But the Cobblers grabbed a foothold in the match just moments before the interval. City seemed to have plenty of covering defenders, but Paul McGregor's precise chip caught Steve Phillips marginally off his line. And suddenly it was game on at the Sixfield Stadium. Northampton played better in the second half and had opportunities to equalise. Marco Gabbiadini's an experienced player who won't look back on this incident with a great deal of relish. Completely missing his kick when it seemed he would certainly score. City enjoyed catching opponents on the break, and a sweeping move saw Lewis Carey put Murray in behind the home defence, only for Robins to be denied a second goal by an offside flag. That meant a nervy finish for Bristol City as they scrapped to hang on to a game that looked like it was in the bag. Northampton threw extra men forward in the dying seconds, and Gabbiadini was in the thick of the action once again. This time Phillips came to City's rescue, and Carey completed the escape. Not for the first time, the City goalkeeper had come up with a crucial save this season, and at last it was 3 league points this year.
4-2 from the first leg, both teams knew that the course of the tie could be settled by whoever scored first last night. Thankfully for West Country fans, it was City who hit the target, Lewis Carey getting a rare but valuable goal. By the time Scott Murray scored number 2 with his second attempt after the first had been blocked, the contest was more or less over. It was left to Cardiff-born Christian Roberts to wrap it all up with an individual effort which booked a return to his home city at the Millennium Stadium on April the 6th.
It's always nice when you go back to your own town. I'm looking forward to it because it's going to be a good day, you know, for the club and the fans, and hopefully, you know, we can pick up the right result and come on with a trophy.
Although delighted to be in the final, the post-match celebrations were somewhat muted, as the players' main priority this season remains trying to clinch promotion to Division 1.
They can savour that now, but they can put it in the back pocket because, you know, there's a lot of football from our perspective to play before that. But it's something we can put in there and obviously savour it on the day. But prior to that, you know, we can hopefully go there on the back of some good results.
And it was also a welcome financial boost for the chairman.
Well, it means everything. I mean, there's the financial aspect which we all talk about, which is very, very necessary. But really, it's just the kudos of actually getting to a final and now a chance of winning some silverware and actually put their name on the map.
Now the City fans can make plans for a trip to Cardiff on Sunday, April the 6th. Nigel Turner, HTV News.
Cheltenham Town looking to upset the odds, but immediately Bristol City on the charge. City, of course, without Scott Murray this afternoon. Here's Christian Roberts now. A lot will depend on him in the goal-scoring stakes and an early corner. City ideally would like Roberts in the middle. That's where he's going to be. Aaron Brown coming across to take the corner. Cheltenham in their change strip of yellow. Here's the corner. And the goalkeeper struggling. Steve Book in the end did well to get a hand to it. Right start then from Bristol City. Maybe just a little bright as well for Steve Book. The sun's not out, but not a bad afternoon. And a second corner for Bristol City. Nicky Bell with the cross. And it's in, a goal for Bristol City. And it's Mark Robbins on the mark again. What a signing he's been. His third goal in Bristol City colours, and a kiss too. And what a blow for Cheltenham. The corner came across, and Mark Robbins, the poacher's instinct, and a firm header into the top corner. 1-0. Plenty of movement from City. Patient play. Carey looking for Peacock. Good turn. Turned round his man. And then the pass, a 4-1. Roberts having to check back. Now here is Christian Roberts. Doherty trying to work something on the edge of the box. Christian Roberts again. Nicely turned by Carey. And a teasing cross in, and well collected by Steve Book. Cheltenham giving City a lot of space on the ball. Carey getting a telling cross in. Free kick to Bristol City. Aaron Brown with the loose ball. Look at the room he's got to cross it. And Book struggling. 2-0. Christian Roberts. That was all too easy. Cheltenham's defence pulled wide apart. The referee did consult the linesman, but the goal very definitely stands. Bristol City lead by... No, he doesn't. It has been disallowed. Everybody thought that a goal had been given, but no, it's been disallowed. Burnell now. Doherty. Making the most of the space, Nicky Bell. Oh, they don't want to let him shoot from that sort of distance. The ball might break beautifully for Aaron Brown. Should score! He does! 2-0 this time. Aaron Brown. second goal of the season, and he owed it to a fair bit of fortune, it must be said, as Mickey Bell's shot took a deflection off Robbins, I think it was, and set Brown up, but didn't he finish it well? 2-0 Bristol City after 20 minutes. Out by Butler. Robbins felt he was pushed, but Cheltenham advancing forward again. Jamie Victory. And Butler having a little climb on the back of Julian Alsop. So how crucial this might be for Cheltenham if they could just pull something back before the break. Phillips got a big wall in front of him. Not going to get a great view of it. It is McCann, and he scored. What a very well worked free kick by Cheltenham. And Grant McCann, his 4th goal of the season, and that just has given Cheltenham some hope just before the break. Don't they know it? As I said, Phillips couldn't have seen too much of that free kick. There was a big wall. Finnegan stepped over it. McCann eventually left-footed, curled it round the left-hand corner as he looked at it and into the corner of the net. 2-1. Bobby Gould certainly knows what he wants them to do. Jamie Victory under pressure from Rossignol. And McCann, well, that was a bit too fancy in that sort of area of the field. And now Burnell's in the keeper off his line. Well, that was an excellent effort. And McCann just too flashy for his own good. Set up Burnell for the opportunity. And he was right to have a pop. Duff's still up there, cleared eventually by Hill for Bristol City. Cheltenham pushing forward, looking for an equaliser. Butler with the header out, Doherty. And Rossignol just dwelt on it too much, but recovered well. The youngster Mark Yates almost threading it through. Finnegan going for the gap, and brought down by Peacock. Lee Peacock not liking the decision. And bearing in mind what McCann did in the first half, Bristol City have to beware. It's a fair bit further out though, this one. McCann, and the referee's going to get in the way, and he does get in the way. Really, Devaney had no chance once the ball went almost into the back of Mr. Cable. As we move towards injury time, Bristol City still lead 2-1. There's still some doubt over the ultimate result here. Doherty. And Aaron Brown round the back again. Not sure he's going to make it again. He does though this time. Peacock comes from Rossignol. There it is. Wrapped up for City. 3-1. Liam Rossignol on target. Aaron Brown was the provider, and Rossignol into the empty net. The points in the bag for City now.
If a Martian had come down from space and looked at the second half and he understood football, you'd have thought, well, the yellow team are better than the red team at this moment, keeping possession. That's all well and good, but you have to have an end product.
And thankfully we started really well, you know, and possibly and should have really had more than the 2-goal advantage at half time. A goal we conceded, you know, later on is, you know, is from a free kick. As you've got to say, it's hold your hand up. It's a great free kick. But I thought before that we should have had a bigger margin than we did. I thought we played really well first half.
A game of two halves then, with City thoroughly dominating the first 45, with Cheltenham coming back well in the second. But the stats show that in the end City fully deserved the 3 points, which puts them firmly back in the promotion picture. Did top scorer Scott Murray return to the City lineup after serving a one-match ban? That meant Christian Roberts had to drop down to the subs bench. Oldham haven't been beaten away from Boundary Park all season. Ian Dowie brought back Julian Baudet, who returned in midfield after a 5-match ban. Look out for ex-Leeds striker Clyde Vinehart up front. Your commentators tonight are Bobby Gould, but first, Phil Duffel.
Fourth place Oldham get tonight's game underway. Bristol City know that if they can win here at Ashton Gate, they'll go above the visitors. With promotion very much the aim for both teams, it really is a genuine 6-pointer at Ashton Gate. Scrapping away. This is Vinehart, couldn't bring it under control. Cars has done so though. Joe Burnell trying to get to him. The Oldham player just running out of space far side, and it'll be interesting to see which one of these two teams cracks really. Oldham with this fantastic unbeaten away record, and Bristol City, who are Division 2's leading scorers. And the referee tonight, Trevor Parks, who comes from the West Midlands. Decent early ball for Scott Murray. Across to meet him, David Barrell. And Bristol City have the first corner of the night with just under a minute on the clock. Up from the back come Carey and Butler. It's taken short to Aaron Brown. Back now with Murray. Brown onto his favoured left peg. Feeds it to Doherty. Looking to chip it up for Robbins. Not the ideal service for the diminutive front man. He might get on the end of this though. It's this kind of area where the former Manchester United player comes alive in the box. And Robbins' efforts there have won another corner to Bristol City. Oldham on the back foot early on. Brown to hit the in-swinger this time. Butler's made his way to the near post. It's cleared him. Polyakomi comes with his fists as far as Murray. Brown hoping to put it into the danger area once again, but that was a poor delivery, and for the moment the pressure is relieved. Be picked up by Baudet in central midfield. And this is Armstrong now for Oldham. Plenty of room over on the far side. Mickey Bell had just left his man for a moment. It's Paul Murray over there on the far touchline. Bell eventually did get across to close down the space. Cars surrounded by 3 red shirts. And it'll be interesting to see how these sides shape up tactically. Over to you, Bobby.
Well, they've certainly had the same start as they did on Saturday. Bristol City with 2 corners coming in a short period of time, but they didn't take advantage, and I just think that Oldham would have had their scouts at the game on Saturday, done their homework, and Ian Dowie, being the professional he is, would have set his team out to make sure they didn't concede early.
Doherty, the home captain, poor ball though from him. Presented straight to David Ayres, on now for Andrews, and he has pace in abundance. Looking for Vinehart in the middle. Well, the first glimpse of goal for either side really. Applause from the service from the Dutchman.
Vinehart, a very talented player, great goal scorer, 11 goals early on in the season before he had that injury. Rose well there. Got Andrews jinking inside, just knocks the ball into the box, and there's Vinehart there just getting on top of Matty Hill, but fortunately for Bristol wasn't on target, so he's just shown the dangerous player that he is. This is where Bristol City have improved, Phil. You know, they're quite willing to pass the ball along the back and then look for the pace of Bell when he breaks forward, and Aaron Brown in front of him, and of course you've got that Wally Alcampaign on the ball now, and holds the ball up for Bristol City. Mark Robbins.
Murray to Carey. Oldham are denying Bristol City space to get in early crosses, which is to their credit, but Murray still going. Deflection made it awkward for the keeper, That was a really top draw save by Polyakomi because he couldn't have seen it till late. The danger's not clear yet though. It's with Bell for Bristol City onto his less adept right foot, shall we say.
The Australian keeper made a great save there to keep his side, because as Murray cut in, he's hit that left foot shot, deflected, and Pogliomi there diving to his right. There's Murray, there's the deflection, there's the spring, great arm, great palm, and stops Bristol City going 1-0 in the lead.
Andrews now for Oldham as play switches quickly from one end to the other. Has Butler for company. This is Ayres. Andrews to get away his shot early. Picked up by Hall. Well, he was lining up what he hoped would be something special. The final result, not so.
Young man come from London, earning his reputation, and he's one of the back trio of defenders. He's quite prepared, Phil, to get forward, and that's a very positive position he's taking up. And speaking to Ian Dowie before the game, one player that a lot of other clubs in the Premier League are showing interest in.
That's Hall it was who was the match winner for Oldham at the weekend, a late penalty which got them 3 points away at Mansfield in an ill-tempered game which saw something like 8 yellow cards and 3 reds on the night. Or the afternoon, I should say. That's behind for a corner.
He enjoys his saunties forwards, doesn't he? Down that left-hand side, Mickey Bell creates a lot of problems, but he enjoys going forward and really does tax teams to make sure they defend in depth.
And it's Bell who's the recipient of the short corner. Teed up for Butler, far post. He just couldn't quite grow the extra inch or two that was required.
I wish he'd delivered that like that on Saturday, Phil. I really do. Here's the delivery, higher than Saturday's. Butler on the back post, not quite getting there. We felt the repercussions of the delivery of a near post ball when Robbie scored, but Butler there just a little bit too high for him. But once again, a dead ball situation working well for Bristol City.
The feeling neither side really hitting the straps so far tonight. Burnell to Doherty. Hill being encouraged to come forward and taking up the challenge with some relish. Peacock on towards Robbins. Polyakomi that time just managing to get the ball away with his right boot. It was unorthodox but effective.
Great passing move there, Phil, though, I've got to say that. Wonderful passing. Ended up little over, little flick in, and there's Robbins trying to get to it, and Polyakomi really just stretches out his right leg.
Bell with the left-footed cross. Peacock trying to get there. Well, he's into double figures already for the season, Lee Peacock.
Matty Hill advancing from that wonderful passing. There's the over, there's the flick in. Pogliomi comes out, doesn't collect it with his hands, tries to kick it away, and Robbins was very brave there, making sure he's trying to get hold of that through pass from Lee Peacock.
The Oldham man has certainly been the busier of the two goalkeepers so far, but as yet the scoreline still blank. 20 minutes gone. Haining in no particular hurry to take the throw. Now he has the ball back at his feet. Armstrong very nearly got himself into trouble, did well to extricate himself from a tight spot though, and finds Vine hard to boot. Hill though takes over for the home team, on by Peacock for Burnell. Players breaking right and left, this is Murray. That's a decent cross, Robbins with a header! That's even better work by the goalkeeper. So close, 3 goals from 4 games so far for Robbins. That was very nearly 4 in 5.
Who's the troublemaker? There he is, Murray. Great cross, great header near post, and there's that big right hand coming out. Poglioni there, another wonderful save. Look at the action of Murray. Eyes down, just on the ball. Robbins knows where it's going to be delivered, and a great clawing save there from Poglioni. Twice to his right now, he's kept Oldham in the game.
Well, he's 6'5" tall, an Australian schools and under-20 international, and he looks every bit the part tonight. Robbins to Brown. Wasn't quite so clever by the goalkeeper, but he did get away with it.
That's more like Australian rules there, Phil, wasn't it?
Rip his sleeves off,
yeah.
And then he'll be well dressed for it.
But not on a cold night like tonight. Look, watch him stretch here. There's the Australian rules. He just clears it out, stops the side. Ball coming in from the left-hand side, just punches it up in the air. But that is definitely Australian rules. We've got to say, looking at him there, he's an awesome size, but he's kept his team in the game so far tonight.
After a quiet start, it's been Bristol City who've been asking most of the questions in front of goal. So far, Leslie Poliakomi has all the answers. Free kick now to the visitors, which Ayres will take just as soon as some of his colleagues have made their way forward to the edge of the box. Fitzhall among them. Hard trying to get in round the back, but Steve Phillips was alert to that possibility. And he's wasted no time in getting his side going again in the form of Bell, but that is cut out by Cars, who in turn loses possession to Doherty. There's a tiger in midfield, Tom Doherty. He's found Aaron Brown, and City are probing again, and once more it's Poliakomi from Robbins. There's some contest between those two. Brown now, as Bristol City really do step on the accelerator pedal. Oldham defending for all their worth. Bell trying to work the shooting opportunity.
Here's the left wing cross, Brown spare. There he is, Robbins, and there it's double punch this time for Poglioni. Lovely ball in from Tommy Doherty there. Here's Brown, doesn't think about it, just clips the ball in, near post, and that live wire Robbins is there. Already he should have been on the score sheet, but that big Australian keeper, now playing for Oldham, keeping his team right in this game. Matty Hill's alive there, he sees Mickey Bell, look at the space he's got. Trying to double up now on that left-hand side. It gave Cheltenham a few problems, and I do believe that Oldham are on the rack on their left-hand side tonight.
Well, it's the two Bs, Brown and Bell, looking to make inroads once more. It's Brown's cross. Header away was by Haining. He wasn't too sure of who or what was behind, so safety first, the order of the day.
That was great combination play on that left-hand side. They were persevering, and there's the delivery. Great cross. Good defending header there. Make sure it goes out for a corner, but full marks to the two Bs.
Murray whips it in. It's Carey who threw himself at it. Brown with a shot, deflected again, away for another corner.
The screw's being tightened here, it really is. There's Aaron Brown, great position, well positioned from Danny Wilson and his staff to make sure when the ball drops there, they've got a natural left footer to hit it. Now can he deliver the corner?
Well, Butler's up there, Peacock's up there, Carey's there, and it's cleared by Baudet. He's a big lad, Baudet. He's done well there to release Andrews, and he's continued his run into the middle. Vinehard is also there. This is a decent opening for Oldham, but almost as soon as they see the light, it all goes dark again.
There's Andrews,
cross.
Checks inside, tries the curler, but Vineyard there, off screen, making sure that Andrews realises could he have played a link-up play there, but another haircut there that grows in reputation. A few hours spent on that one, I'm sure.
Robbins on his lonesome just for the moment against 3, not surprisingly loses out, but now he's got an opportunity, and a clever first touch releases Murray. Oldham trying to double up with 2 men on him, but still Murray is going. Finally the blue shirts win the day, at least temporarily. This is Bell, he can hit them. Settles for a corner this time. Scratch of the head.
What have I got to do? What more have I got to do here? I'm coming. Another forage forward, good defending, 2 blue shirts in front of the goalkeeper.
Another stoppage with an Oldham player writhing in agony on their 6-yard box. It's Will Haining who's down.
Got a nasty knock in the ribs there, the physio comes in. Is the goalkeeper, good take, and it's his old goalkeeper coming out and making sure he gets the ball. I think it's his knee that's caught him just in the ribs or the solar plexus there. There is a boxing match on here at Thursday night, isn't there?
Yes, that's right. Bristol City supporters still awaiting the first goal. City, one of the better supported teams in Division 2. Assistant's flag waving for a free kick to Bristol City. May just be time to mount one last threat.
Good decision by the assistant referee there. Robbins definitely brought down. Are you going to get a delivery? Aaron, are you going to drop that ball in?
Oldham looking for offside.
Well played.
Very harmless end to a promising situation.
Well, once the player puts his head down, that's when they come, Phil. He puts his head down, he can't see because he's delivering, and they just step up, and the red shirt's caught offside.
Peacock, first touch wasn't the best, Ayres got a piece of it. It's a stalemate at Ashton Gate at half-time, not for the want of trying as far as the home team in particular are concerned, and Mark Robbins has come closer than most on at least a couple of occasions, denied only by the brilliance of Les Polyakomi in the Oldham goal. We hope for plenty more action, we hope for goals after the break. Join us for the second half. Welcome back then as Bristol City get the second half underway. No doubt looking for a repeat performance of the first 45 minutes in terms of effort and chances created. They'll just be hoping to put something in the goals column. Oldham on the back foot for long periods in the first half, but as we mentioned early on, they are something of second half specialists. Almost a third of their goals have come in the last 15 minutes of league matches, so don't take your eyes off this one towards the end. There are no changes in personnel at half-time. Both teams, I note, have firepower in reserve. Bristol City in particular have some 28 goals between their 4 outfield substitutes. So there is potential there for change should Danny Wilson feel unsatisfied with the way things are going. For the moment it's the status quo as Doherty plays it forward for Brown. Very much one of the leading lights of the first half. Into Peacock, layoff for Robbins! It's Polyakomi again, and he must be sick of the sight of Australians.
There he is, the little man's pounce. Great ball there for Doherty. Good hook in from Aaron Brown, well hold up. Set into his path, side foot home. Not the right arm this time, but the right leg. What a game he's having, Polyakomi.
It's just about a one-man resistance at the moment.
Ball in now, just watch. Here's the run, little man side foots this one, and there's the foot of the goalkeeper just outstretching, saying to these defenders, how do they keep coming in at me like that?
No doubts about the Man of the Match award so far. Vinehard back to Armstrong. Can the goalkeeping heroics inspire Oldham to snatch something at the other end? Well, maybe from a mistake. Carey, who took his eye off the ball initially, recovered his composure just in time. Andrews challenging. A break for Hill for Bristol City. Doherty stabbing it on for Brown. Peacock had to check his run to stay onside. And it's Baudet who appeared to be tidying up in midfield, but Burnell now to Murray for Bristol City. Doing what he does best, Scott Murray, and once again it's off the keeper and behind for a corner. It doesn't matter which part of the body you get in the way, as long as something's blocking the path to goal.
Murray twisted and turning, decides to hammer it at goal. He's come off his near post and just parries it. What's the twisting and turning? Murray's head down, knows where he's going. Goes to the right, goalkeeper goes to his left. Straight at him, pushes it out. 16 has had a marvellous game.
Bell for a moment was unsure of the whereabouts of the ball, but he made it his in the end. Great determination by the fullback and terrific distribution too to set Brown on his bike. Murray with a perfectly timed tackle though wins it back for Oldham. Baudet has precious few options ahead of him. Quite happy to take the free kick.
Didn't like that, Phil. He got up and he said to the referee, how about a yellow card? Okay, yes, there's the foul there. Watch the reactions here. If he gets up and he just says to the referee, yellow card. We don't do that in this country. I wish I could tell him in French.
Looking for the head of Vinehard. It's away by Hill, who does jump well for a small man. Armstrong now far side for Oldham. This time they have got more blue shirts in the middle, but the ball hasn't arrived, and here comes the counter-attack with Murray. Peacock into full stride alongside him. Murray for the moment going solo. Still Scott Murray! What a magnificent goal! 21 for the season, and he's got the key to the door all right. Scott Murray finally breaks the deadlock for Bristol City, and they deserve it.
Power, sheer power, attacks the defenders, comes inside, keeps his cool. I'm going to curl it, far corner. Australian keeper, you're not going to get hold of it. Look, he's looking around. Great run off the ball by Peacock. Still driving on. Fastest player in the parking hall. Checks inside, keeps his composure, never looks up and delivers. Bertie Vokes, please will somebody send this video goal to him, and I'm sure that he would include him in the Scottish squad. Great goal, well played Murray.
Yes, he's the flying Scotsman in more ways than one, Scott Murray. It's just the tonic the home side needed. You get the feeling that heads might have started to drop if they were in such command without registering a goal tonight, but that has changed the atmosphere around Ashton Gate, and it was a goal to grace any game. Doherty's had a great appetite for this game so far tonight, and it's showing no sign of letting up. remember back to what you were doing way back in April. I certainly can't, but it was the last time Oldham Athletic lost away in the league, but they're behind now and under real pressure as Brown cuts in, not on his strongest wing, the right side. City are coming on strong.
Comes inside here, checks inside, not his favoured foot, and really doesn't get his ankle round it, really doesn't screw it round it. Once again, Mickey Bell and Aaron Brown there creating a 2 against 1, and it's another effort at goal. But it's the pace, Phil, it's the dynamic pace of Brown, the dynamic pace of Scott Murray down that right hand side, and it's very, very difficult to defend against.
Quite literally flinging himself into the cause, and that's intelligent play by Carey to release Murray once more. Danger for Oldham, it's Murray, and it's that man in goal again. Well, but for Polyakomi, Murray and co could have had a cricket score tonight. They may yet do so, but there's the big goalkeeper again, showing a clean pair of hands, I suppose you could say.
Which way's he going to go? In, out this time, and there's the big keeper. 6 saves that I've counted, Phil, 6 big saves.
City at the moment sitting pretty for what would be a 5th successive victory in League and Cup. Of course, they're through to the final of the LDV Vans Trophy. They'll have a day out at Cardiff in April. They may yet have another one in the playoffs, or perhaps that automatic promotion place is still there for the taking. There's certainly 4 clubs scrapping it out. If Bristol City were to hang on, then by virtue of a superior goal difference, they would go above Oldham tonight. Really is tight at the top of Division 2, Wigan apart. Hill finds Doherty, just a little bit too quick for Peacock there.
No cohesion, Phil, but they've got strong minds of these Oldham team. They believe in what they're doing.
Armstrong. Doherty reckoned he got a piece of the ball.
He's got cramp.
He certainly put everything into the game tonight.
Diving tackle, and that's the 2nd time I think he's at the ball instead of the player, and the referee's got that decision wrong. But as we know, referees are never, ever, ever wrong. Look, great foot, great piece of the ball. Referee's different angle, just looking from another angle.
There's as many of them just don't like a tackle from behind, whether or not you get any of the ball.
Limping away there, he's been a little bit uncomfortable, but he has been the catalyst of all the things that have been good about Bristol City tonight. But in the last 10, 12, 15 minutes they have severely rocked.
Concern here for Steve Phillips. It's David Ayres to hit it. Well, the net rippled, but it was the side netting. That was mighty close.
Well, taken hit for that near post, ricochets on the outside, very similar to an attempted goal by Cheltenham on Saturday. Managers will have watched the goals that have gone in against the opposition and take stock of them and try and rehearse some different positions, but fortunately for Bristol City there, went the wrong side of the net.
Polyakomi clear. Corra's in, Killen. Hall advancing further and further forward for Oldham now, who really must throw caution to the wind. And Robbins is through, he could win it now for Bristol City. It's just not to be for him tonight.
Well, he could be walking home with the match ball. Here he goes, ball through, evades the tackle. His foot doesn't get wrapped round it, and there it is, spinning viciously to the left. Two centre halves, big court, Murray challenges, and a shot not on target.
Robin's still wondering what he's got to do to get his name on the score sheet. One player who won't be doing that now is Tom Docherty. He's done his work for the night. Brian Tinian, his replacement. Bristol City, like Oldham before them, are planning a double change, and in fact Robbins now is coming off himself to be replaced by Christian Roberts. So Tinian and Roberts on for Bristol City.
He wants them to play a move, he doesn't want them to be static. They've got the pace of Roberts now. Can they just change the point of attack?
And Roberts does well to win the ball. Running at the heart of the Oldham defence, still Christian Roberts. Nearly pulled that back from an impossible position. Here come Oldham on the counter. David Ayres galloping forward. Butler gets there to close him down. Strung out from end to end now. Midfield's down to a couple of players. Murray. Flag is up, offside.
Well, there's been some performances from Oldham. The boy Murray's been gallant in every position he's been asked to play in. Here we are, Roberts attacking them. Takes it down the outside. Hillen shields it. Roberts still there. Keeper puts his hand up. Not back in, but no red shirts there.
Nicely done, Tinian for Murray. Peacock was waiting. Murray's header clear. Will be picked up by Brown. Burnell, who's taken over the captain's armband. That's one for Roberts to chase.
Disrupted the rhythm, Phil, of Oldham. They've stopped them going forward. Now they're in a position of looking for the extra time, and it's 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Here we've got the ball. Tinian knocks it into the corner. Great ball, great throw. Little bit of control here from Roberts, is a little bit loose, not tight enough.
4 minutes of added time signalled then. 4 minutes for Bristol City to hold on for what would be a precious 3 points. Murray. Nicely done. This is Roberts. Tinian to Peacock. Awkward one for Haining, and he's given it away. This is Brown. Bell was casual.
Tired minds, tired legs. Who's got the strength to go forward? Who's got the composure, the cohesion?
This is Murray. Corazin surrounded by defenders. Ayres showed too much of it to Joe Burnell. Murray will keep the ball in play. Drive it a long way forward in the direction of Roberts, who's beaten his man. It's 2-on-1 for Bristol City. Chris Roberts going on his own, finishes it. 2-0 Bristol City, game over. Christian Roberts, the executioner. What delight for the home fans.
Concentration, looks at the goalkeeper. Peacock inside. I've been sat on that bench long enough. I'm going to fill my boots with this shot and make sure I contribute. Good control. Defender commits himself. Linesman on the far side, signalling play on. Peacock in the position, but no, thank you. I'm going to strike this, and a wonderful strike. And similar to Saturday, rocking it gently at 1-0. Strength of mind, strength of physique, strength of pace. and those supporters are waving goodbye to Oldham.
They're waving goodbye to Oldham's proud record of not having lost on the road in the league. There is no way back for them now, 2-0 down with only minutes of stoppage time remaining. Hill clear. It's Olays all the way to the final whistle now for the home team. Butler gets it clear. They'll be determined to hang on to a clean sheet, mind. And of course, who knows, goal difference may yet play a part in the promotion shake-up. There goes the whistle, greeted with great delight at Ashton Gate. Bristol City deserving, worthy 2-0 winners on the night. Fine goals too, the first scored by Scott Murray 10 minutes into the second half, and it was wrapped up in the dying moments by substitute Christian Roberts. City's annus horribilis when they couldn't win at the start of the year, 8 league games without a victory. Well, that's all forgotten now, 5 wins on the bounce for them. And Oldham, who were second best on the night, have said goodbye to their proud away record, where they taste defeat for the first time this season away from Boundary Park. It could be a big night in the promotion shake-up. It's finished. Bristol City 2, Oldham Athletic 0.
Danny, was that just about your side's best performance of the season, would you say?
I think over 90 minutes, I think you've got to say, it was, particularly against the calibre team we've been playing against. I thought over the whole game, I thought we looked very menacing. I thought we thoroughly deserved the result. When you get against a side who's lying just above you, and you don't let him create a chance in the game, and Stevie Phillips hasn't had a save to make of any consequence really, and he hasn't in the last couple of games. In fairness to him, that's the testament to the boys how they're working so hard in front of him.
Where Danny Wilson kept faith with the City team narrowly beaten at QPR last weekend. That meant Aaron Brown was again preferred to the more experienced Brian Tinian on the left of midfield. Mark Robbins, fresh from agreeing to extend his loan from Rotherham into a second month, partnered Lee Peacock up front. Peterborough had recently taken points off both Crewe and Wigan and were looking to the former Wimbledon striker Andy Clark to add to his tally of 16 goals this season. Doherty. Bell to Brown. This is Carey joining the attack. He's got Murray on the overlap if he wants to use it. That's exactly where he goes. Murray just loves to be in this kind of position, and a good ball too, and almost into his own goal. It was Burton who inadvertently headed it just over the top of the crossbar. Murray with good work. Difficult cross to defend, and Peterborough nearly didn't defend it. First corner of the game, 7 minutes in. Aaron Brown will take it. And a glancing header from Peacock, who will be annoyed that he didn't do better with that. Nice layoff from Peacock to Robbins. Good looking ball to Bell. He's in a perfect position to cross and will be disappointed with the outcome. Here he is again though. It's a better stab this time and a great opportunity. 1-0. Mark Robbins with his 4th goal of the season. Hardly a classic in the end as it stumbled over the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. But with 11 minutes gone, City have the advantage they deserve. Well, Bell's first cross wasn't a particularly good one. He did better with the second. Peacock with the layoff, and Robbins did the rest. This is Murray. Loses out to Clark. He shows the ball straight to Burnell. Early cross to him, just bounced over the head of Peacock. Has just been camped inside this half of the pitch all game. Murray not having one of his best days. Well, if he had been, City might have been about 5 up by now. Here's Burnell, good chance. Tried to curl it towards the near post with his left boot. Wasn't far away at all. Straight away, Lee involved in the action. Cleared by Burnell. This is the fresh impetus that may be required by Peterborough. Will be ruining at the moment the exceedingly ordinary start they made to this game. Now Murray, rare bit of space for him down the right this afternoon, and typically it's an excellent ball, and Doherty so close, just didn't connect with it correctly, and the shot really thumping into the ground in front of him before squirming wide. Lee with a layoff. At least the game's beginning to get some pace about it now. Strachan. Lee flicks on. Peacock. Is Robbins going to take anybody on? No, he's going to let it back to Tinian. Searching for Peacock, who claims he was pulled back. The referee having nothing to do with that at all. It may well have been a case of 6 of one and half a dozen of another. And Peacock handballed it. Strachan to Lee. Let's give us some running from Newton. Nice ball in! Oh! Good save from Phillips, and then it's over the top from Clark. 63 minutes gone, and it's Peterborough's real first chance of the afternoon. It was a fine save from Phillips that denied Clark his 17th goal of the season. Beadle stands his ground firmly. Then wins the free kick. Now this is in a good position for Bristol City. Perfect for either Tinian or Mickey Bell. Both of them immediately run towards the ball. Will this be the moment that will settle City's nerves the remainder of the afternoon? 22 minutes remaining. They lead by a goal to nil. And it's going to be Mickey Bell to take it. Oh, he scores a very fine save indeed out of Mark Tyler. Voted the best goalkeeper in this division last season. Down to saves like that. Corner to be taken by Scott Murray. Game just beginning to open up again now after about 45 minutes of really dull stuff. Another corner for City. This time it's Tinian. Good curl on the ball. And headed just over the top by Matt Hill. Not too far away. This is Carey. Oh, he's done well. Got through 2 tackles. And another one. Can he keep it in? He can. It's a great ball to Beadle. Wonderful work from Lewis Carey. And only a fine challenge by the now injured, but stopped Beadle from making it 2-0. Doherty. This is Carey. Burnell. Done really well, Burnell. Force for Beadle! Well, City started the game with a few chances. They're finishing the match with them too. More often than not, though, they've failed to take advantage. Burton, who didn't do anything with the ball at all, and instead it now comes to Murray. Tinian making a run on this near side, out of picture at the moment. Murray though cuts across. Here is Tinian now, surely! Oh! Well, it would have been a wonderful goal set up by Murray. Tinian tried to side foot it so precisely into the corner. In the end, it was just a fraction wide.
It was a few tired legs. It looked that way anyway. We started off, from my point of view, we started off quite well.